One time for the one.
I'm really excited.
Okay, okay. I got it.
I almost did that. Okay.
Oh, you ready? Okay.
Okay. So this is one of my favorite artists, so I wanted to teach a painting lesson on it. So have any of y'all heard of Jackson Pollock? No. No? None of y'all? Okay, so he is an abstract expressionist painter, and it's kind of like that movement. We started in realism, and then we moved to impressionist, where they got a little less obsessed with the details, and then we moved to abstract expression, which is basically taking out the subject matter, like a recognizable subject matter, and just playing with feelings, color theory, emotions, things like that. So he was born on January 28th in 1912, and then he went off to New York, and he was living with his brother and started studying under different artists. And then some of his most famous work was known during his drip period, and I'm sure you'll have seen he's basically the one who invented and created and started splatter painting, drip painting, things like that. So. Okay, so this is one of his paintings, and I wanted to do a little thing and see what y'all think about it. What does it look like, or what does it feel like? What do you think
It looks like people.
It looks like scrambled eggs. That's what it reminds you of. It looks hot. Really? No, Hudson, go back.
Oh. Give me a single.
Okay, so it looks like a sun. So one thing that he kind of played off was using different types of line and different types of color to create. So this one, all of his lines, if you look, are very curved. They're very, he's doing a repetitive motion of curves throughout it. And then he used, to me, it looks very light and airy, and it looks very soft. It's not, there's no harsh, jagged lines. There's all rounded, all curved, and it's very light colors. So it's whites and yellows. He has a few little dark spots for contrast, but overall, this painting is really light. It's called Shimmering Substance. So he was just, almost all of his paintings also, he left them unnamed. They were just number 8, number 7, or it just says blue, different things like that, because he wanted to leave a lot of it up to the viewer's perspective. He wanted you to be able to look at it and get your own feeling out of it, which makes it unique and a different experience for every person when they look at it. So. Okay, so what about this one? How is it different than the one that you just looked at?
It looks like trees.
Okay, and these lines are all really vertical, right? They're going up and down. They're very confusing, and they're much sharper. They are. There's no kind of rounded curves. They're all straight, jagged lines, and it's much, much darker. So this one is just called Blue Poles, honestly.
That's a name.
He started, down at the bottom, yeah. He started with just the blue vertical lines that you see running through the painting, and then he went on top of them with different darker colors, and then he went back over them again with blue to kind of make those more of the emphasis on top. But, okay, so what is this one? How does this one make you feel?
Like I just took some drugs or something.
Okay, so this one for me, this one was a lot more fun. It was more summery and fun and colorful and bright, which he didn't have a whole lot. He was actually a very depressed person, and so a lot of his work is darker colors, and so I thought it was kind of unique to find a few. There's only a few that are kind of bright and colorful and a little more fun. But one thing that he really played off was color theory and the meaning and feelings that different colors kind of bring up when you look at them. So. Go back.
Oh, I thought it.
You're back. Okay, so what about this last one? It looks foresty. That's what I thought too. It kind of looks like trees. It looks very dark. But then he kind of plays off a little bit of light coming through in the back with those kind of yellows, and I think that kind of helps the forest kind of feel you feel like trees, a little bit of sun coming through. But it feels different for every single person, and that's kind of what I like about his paintings overall. Okay, so the main difference between Jackson Pollock and a lot of other painters was that he used stir sticks instead of brushes to create his work. So he would have his paint, he would water it down, or he would have thinner, and then he would stir it with a stir stick, and then he'd just take it out. He'd start dripping it, or he'd start flinging it around. And the other thing that was different was that he worked on the floor. He never hung his paintings up. He had them out on the floor, and he said that he liked to work, be a part of his paintings and be on the floor and work and walk around them and kind of move. And his paintings are referred to a lot as action paintings because they required, not only did they show a lot of motion in their paintings, but they required a lot of motion to do them. So you're seeing that. So, and a lot of his work also is very, very large. He worked on a large scale, and so he had this studio out behind his house, and he would just lay these huge canvases and drop cloths onto the floor, and he would step on them, you know, he'd like step into them, he'd walk around them, and he'd kind of look at them. He did. He's a very famous artist. He made.
You have to see it in the museum. It's really cool.
It's gorgeous. It's in the Museum of Fine Arts in Houston. They have quite a few of his. They had a section on him for a while in the museum, like just his. They're very cool to look at, and when they're so large, he also did kind of paneling work too and put them all together. And you go, and it's amazing how unified they are over such a large piece. But this is a new style of art, and he is actually. I'm surprised that none of y'all have heard of him. He's a really famous, well-known.
And there's a movie about him. Pollock.
Oh yeah, that's right, there is. No, there's a lot. Like he's not. I didn't pick some weird abstract artist that y'all. I really thought y'all would have heard of. Like, but yeah, he made lots and lots of money. He was very famous. Yeah. Okay, keep going. Okay, so color theory is something that artists use different colors to create different feelings, settings, kind of emotions, and different things like that within their artwork. So certain colors affect us in different ways and bring back memories, thoughts, emotions, and ideas. Okay, so these were just some of them that I found, and y'all can think about them too. Like when you see the color red, what do you think of? Blood. Okay, a lot of people think of like anger or aggression. They think of, like not. So, but when you think of the color yellow, what do you think of? Sunshine, joy, very things like that. What about green? Okay, so hatred for you. But a lot of people think of either they think of like nature and things like that, or they think of jealousy and envy and things like that, because throughout our life we've been associated with these colors. So like white, a lot of people think of purity or like something that's new, but black they think of death and old,
Hey.
So okay. So throughout different things like that, throughout our life, we've been associated with these different colors. Purple and gold is often associated with like royalty, so people think of like richness and things like that when they see purples, things like that, flowers, you associate it with flowers. So these are just a few that I found, but it's really up to you and it's what you want. But if you want like a darker kind of painting, what kind of colors would you go with? You want to look at our array of sunshine?
Blue and red.
Oh, there's definitely.
Oh, I know. I was just saying. So I would go with, if I was going for a darker feeling to the painting, I'd go with like darker blues and blacks and purples, the darker, deeper colors, because those tend to take us to, little different emotions, things like that. But that's because we think of like night, darkness, things like that. But during the day, you think of like the bright colors, the yellows, the whites, the kind of freshness and new. And so you can go ahead. Okay, so today you're going to create your own abstract splatter painting on canvas using his technique. We're going to use stir sticks. You're going to pick your colors. And then if we have time, and I can get that drop cloth, we will create one as a class, and then third period will add on to it too, and it'll be the new one that hangs up for y'all to do for next semester. So y'all can work together as a class, but first we're going to do our own individual ones. So go ahead. Yeah, you can take your own individual one. So you're going to pick 3 to 4 colors that represent a time, a place, a feeling, something that you want to emit through your painting. And I need you to be able to kind of explain it. I want you to be able to tell me where you were going with it, what you were thinking of, a time, a place, if you were trying to do something like that. And then decide on the type of lines that you want to use. Remember we looked at the first one, it was very curved, it was very soft feeling, it was different versus the last one. That was like very straight lines, vertical lines that were a little bit harsher and sharper. So if you want, depending on the type of feeling that you want to create for your painting, you need to pick a type of line, how you drip it, if you want it to be a little bit more neat and organized, or if you want it to feel more chaotic and feel more like stressed in your painting. So depending on how you want to do that. So you can think about it for a little bit. I'm going to finish getting the paints ready. You can pick your canvas, and then we'll go over there and we'll start splatter painting. I have 1 cup for each color. If y'all want to share colors, you can, since there's only 4 of y'all. I'll give y'all an extra stir stick and y'all can kind of go through it. So you can each grab a canvas.
5, something.
Hudson's gonna do it too.
Oh, Hudson's
he's not.
gonna do it too. Yeah, it doesn't bother me if y'all want to join in.
I need to bring my old paint
Nope.
That's pretty.
You gotta fill up the canvas.
Pretty no, you can't say that's not.
That's a nice start.
That is very good. Because I'm natural. Where's purple?
I'm trying to make some purple. We don't have any purple here?
You said we don't have any just plain purple.
Oh my goodness, y'all. Because we can mix.
No.
What blue and red makes purple? Here, let me-
No, blue and red makes one. Did I just do that?
Yeah.
What have you been teaching us?
Well, some people are.
It's white. There's some blue paint that had wasted.
Some people are.
But you, purple is not, they assume you can.
Yeah, you did it.
We do.
Shut up.
It's
Well
just
done.
on your personal space.
I'm never gonna show them last.
Okay.
That's, I need to do more.
Okay, I have that one
A
last
little more red.
application right here.
I thought more.
I see it anywhere
I'm rich.
I like that you're not scared. You're not done though.
Keep going. You gotta fill
So
up your
that
canvas.
canvas-
This is like.
Hey, they ain't looking
No, it is looking really nice, but the canvas, we don't want to
There's
see the
5
white
out there.
canvas.
Okay.
Yours is already out there.
This might be finished.
And now I'm finishing.
Look at it. Listen. It's like yellow beans.
Ooh, I would have so much fun with that. I just like it. Go like that.
Who's doing that one to the side?
Is it Lauren? No, I let Hudson do one. But I don't know how to do it.
Oh, I kind of got mine.
She made
That's
me
the paint all
red.
over your canvas.
She made me purple.
Okay, get,
You got me
Get
fine.
purple, Hudson.
Okay, if you're done, just set it back
No,
over
I'm
here.
not.
No, I mean, if
Oh
you're
my
done with the
God,
color.
that one's not in there. I know I took a picture of it.
Scene
Don't
car.
watch where
So
you're
them look so
walking.
so
Yeah, I don't know, paint all over my phone.